Let's talk about Harry Maguire because he had a really good Euro. He was in the Euro 2020 team of the tournament, and yet it feels like just days, weeks ago, Leicester fans were telling us he'd be fourth choice if he was still at Leicester. He wouldn't get in the first team. He's no good. He's not worth 80 million. He shouldn't even be in the England team. Are some of you all ready now just to accept that he's actually really good? What he doesn't have is pace, but if you focus only on what he doesn't have, then that's fine. You're going to have a negative view. If you then have a look at the long list of positives about Harry Maguire, you're going to have to put your hand up and admit you were wrong, surely.
Yeah, exactly. I did say I would take him even if he wasn't fit, same as the Henderson situation, because I know the power of experience within a dressing room, especially when you've got 26 players. But for the way he's come back into the side, both of them, to be fair, Henderson as well, but mainly Maguire, he comes in and he just makes them better, makes them solid. He's a natural leader. When he gets the ball out of the feet, he can bring it out from the back. Set piece threat. And alongside him, with Stones, I think they're a top partnership, or have been a top partnership in this championship. And if they can carry that on, we go into it defensively with a lot more hope, because we still thought going into this, let's just remember, where we thought defensively we were going to be weak.
Yep.
And we've proved, but we've actually got good defenders. Shaw was brilliant. Walker put in performances throughout. Stones and Maguire were excellent. And I think people realise, again, how important he is to Manchester United. When he wasn't available and he were injured, because he's never injured, really, let's be honest about it. He never gets an injury. And I think it's like, it's Harry Maguire again. What's he doing playing? But when he's out of the team, that's when you notice. Yeah,
you're spot on. And he is, if you look at the history of some of the better defenders, centre-halves at Manchester United, he's made for United. Yep. He is a Manchester United centre-half all day long, and really clearly worthy of his England place as well. So if there are still doubters, do give us a call, 08717 223344. I was having a quick look, and I appreciate that a defence is more than just Harry Maguire. But the season before Maguire arrived at Man United was the season, he got there in 2019. So the season before that, 18-19 season, Man United conceded 54 goals, which was the worst record, most goals conceded of any of the top six. The season after he joined, so that first season he was there, 19-20 season, they conceded 36, 18 fewer goals. 44 is up to last season. He was injured for part of it, you're right. 36 goals was the third best. It was only one more than City and only three more than the champions Liverpool. 44 last season was the fourth best. So he's improved their defence. And even if you're not watching it and you're just looking at the stats, he's improved the defence. But just watching them in the way they play, him bringing it out means they have improved. You just have to see the evidence with your own eyes. So are there still people who don't believe that Harry Maguire is good enough for Man United and England? I'd be very surprised.
Well, yeah, there'll be loads still. And I think it all comes down to the price tag. It's always about the price tag, Aid. And I think that's what annoyed people the most when they say, oh, well, look at us, we got Van Dijk for this. You paid 80 million for Maguire. And it will always be, same as it always is with Pogba. The first thing they always go back to, we spent 90 million on Pogba and he's rubbish. Really? Is he that bad?
No. He's not. And I think the 80 million, if you could go and get another Van Dijk for 75 million, you could.
Of course.
Of course, you would absolutely go and do that. But there's only one, and he's not available for sale, and certainly not available at 75 million quid. So they can't do that. So what do? They look for somebody who they think is the next best. Now, I think there'll be people listening to this saying you can't compare Maguire and Van Dijk. Well, can't you now? Because Harry Maguire was a rock in the England defence that got to a World Cup semi-final. He's then that rock in the England defence that does well at the Nations League as well, and he's the rock that not only does very well in the European Championships this year, but he gets into the team of the tournament as well. And actually, if you look at his individual honours throughout his career, very Leicester, at Hull, Sheffield United, there's Player of the Year awards galore. So you can, and Players Player as well, which we know is a significant one. So he may not have a lot next to his name in terms of the trophies that his teams have won, but his individual performances show that he clearly is one of the better performers in every team he's in.
Yeah, as I said, I think what goes against him is because he tends to be solid and very rarely gets injured. It's just, but you only realise how good he is when he is injured. and how they missed him. Manchester United will tell you, when he wasn't in the side towards the end of the season, they missed him massively.
They did. Okay, Varane might be coming in alongside him. Trippier might be coming in. Now, whether he's playing in Shaw's position on the left or in Wan-Bissaka's position on the right, who knows?
I don't get the Trippier one.
Well, you can't. There's nothing wrong with having a good squad, is there?
I agree. But Wan-Bissaka's pretty good, isn't he?
Well, didn't make the England squad. Trippier did. Listen, people will have their own views. But Manchester United are making moves. Sancho, of course, coming in. There may be talk of another midfielder coming in, which for me, actually, another midfielder completes the picture. But are they title contenders next season if all these transfers happen?
Well, again, what is this, 6 weeks to go, did he say?
Oh, less than that, less than a month.
Yeah, less than a month. We have no idea. We could sit here, as always, and predict, but all the transfers, which we're going to talk about later, that could happen, it changes it. It could change overnight with one player. We're talking Haaland, we're talking Kane. You know, we're talking some of these players.
So if Haaland goes to City or Kane goes to City,
yeah, I mean, it can go either way, can't it? And I think once one goes, I think we're going to see it's open all hours, isn't it?
And I think the thing with Man United, where that comes in, you're right, because there will be a big striker, at least one, signed by one of the big clubs.
And then it sets off the move.
In the Premier League. Man United have got Cavani and they've got Greenwood. Greenwood's might need a couple of years. Cavani needs to stay fit. And if he does, they've got a chance, but is he likely to? That's the big question. So that's a little area of weakness.